Sources say that the Jets are continuing their overhaul as they bring in their new head coach and changing up their entire staff and going in a new direction. They are releasing their wide receiver who they traded a ton for in the middle of last season, Davante Adams. He is going to be on the block. Clint, we've talked since the season ended. One of the priority spots for the Texans is another receiver or two to go along with Nico Collins, because right now it's Nico, it's John Mechie, and it's Hutch. How would you feel? We saw Debo was going, and we know you really liked the Debo thing. I did too. Many of you didn't. Some of you did. What about Davante Adams? 32 years old, will be 33 in December, excuse me. How would you feel about that potential move? Because I got to believe there's got to be at least a conversation if the Texans were in on Debo Samuel. I would at least believe they've turned over a stone to look at that one. What's your thoughts on that?
Even really close to going to happen. I don't think they're going to even entertain it. But
you don't.
But no, I do not. But I do like the thought of pairing him with C.J. Stroud, and more importantly, or not more importantly, but as importantly, pairing him being Davante Adams with Nick Caley. Right? I mean, a lot of the guys that we talk about, Diggs was one of them. Cooper Kupp would be one of them. I think Debo Samuel would be one of them. These are all guys that you need to move, you need to get creative with, you need to create for them, right? And that's great if you've got a good play designer and a good creator and somebody that has the feel and the ability to call those plays, right? If you want to simplify things for C.J. Stroud and Nick Caley, you put Davante Adams opposite Nico Collins. Now, what you have now is you've got two guys, big-bodied players on both sides of the quarterback, and you're daring the defensive coordinator to close the middle of the field and add an extra defender to the box to stop the run or to stop the receivers over the tight end over the middle or whatever. You're daring them to do something other than a two-safety type defense, right, at that point, because you've got two guys outside that can beat you over the top. You got one that's probably the best back shoulder catching wide receiver we've ever seen in Davante Adams. You've got guys physically underneath with the slants, the quick game stuff. And I would say that you're really playing – it's a move to me that would really be playing into C.J. Stroud, the pocket passer. We want to talk about C.J. Stroud and the legs and this and that. C.J. Stroud is not a guy that you design around his legs. C.J. Stroud is a guy that in a perfect world you set his ass back there 7 to 9 yards behind the center in a nice clean pocket and you let him cook. You let him dice it up.
With the legs.
It would simplify things for Nick Caley. It would simplify things for C.J. Stroud. It would play into the strengths of C.J. Stroud. And I think it would be an unbelievable compliment opposite Nico Collins.
You like the thought of it. Like that would that's
assuming the money, because I mean look, he's damn near
not the money, but what you
could I like Davante Adams in Houston opposite Nico Collins? Absolutely. I could get real good and turned on over that. You roll those two guys out there. I think C.J. Stroud gets better. Nick Caley, the biggest gamble that you've made, probably to damn sure in the DeMeco Ryans era, the biggest gamble that you've made is Nick Caley coming in as the offensive coordinator. He gets better. Joe Mixon gets better. Your offensive line again gets better because now you've got guys that, hey, I dare you to show me pressure and vacate the half safety. To either one of those, either Nico's side or Davante's side. Yeah, play man in the red zone. You got guys that can win one-on-one, but with their body, not with better than a lot of wide receivers do. So yeah, hell yeah.
From the text line is another Stephon Diggs without the attitude. Ending in 7-2. Expound on that. Give me a little bit more of that. What do you mean by that he is aging or somebody that is productive? What do you mean? I'm just trying to get a little bit more from that text. Real quick, though,
I encourage everybody to go back and when New York got hot last year late in the season, look at some of the way he was playing, look at some of the catches he was making. Go back and look in 23 with the Raiders when he wasn't with a knee issue. Some of the catches that he was making with freaking Aiden O'Connell and whoever else throwing the football to him. Yeah, it's just, I could get real excited about another big-bodied receiver being here with CJ and Nick Caley. Yes.
Real quick, from where you started, why do you think you don't have, like, it seems like your percentage level and thought that this could happen is extremely low. Why after everything you explained about the fit and how that would make this offense look, why do you think they wouldn't be involved in it if they were involved with Debo?
Well, I think he's going to command $25 million a year.
Ooh, you do?
In a multi-year deal. And I don't think Houston's going to commit to that.
32, 33 years old, do you think Davante Adams still gets that?
I mean, he was 22 in 2 contracts ago. He was 28 this contract a year. I think he's probably going. I think he fetches 25. With the way the league's trending, everybody's getting paid more. I think he fetches 25 a year for 2 years.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what the market looks like. Obviously, the market, whoever needs a wide receiver of that level, it'll come to fruition.
But you think it's money in multiple years?
Yeah, I think you had. Now, I wouldn't be opposed to it. I mean, you got a steal in Nico Collins' contract right now, and I mean, you overpaid Dalton Schultz and Laramie Tunsil. Those are the 2 guys that are eating up your cap space on the offensive side of the football. Everything else is very reasonable. Yeah, I mean, I think there's room.
If it's 1 or 2 years, then that's maybe something that they maybe be into.